Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, make sure to click on the subscription button and the notification button to get ideas on when I post my videos. And in today's video, I will be talking about how to know yourself and how to introduce yourself to yourself, because what made me to come about this topic is I have seen how easy it is to lose yourself. I have seen how easy it is to jump on trends and get lost in the process and all the bad things that happen when you do. So this video is for you guys that feel you don't know yourself enough, or you have lost yourself somewhere in the way. Yes, I'm here to help you find it today. So stick around in this video and let's get right into it. Okay, so the reason I'm holding this mic like this today is because I've been trying to shoot this video, and every time I keep on pinning it, there's just this interference it gets on my shirt. I don't know whether it's from my hair or something, but because of the color of my clothes, so I don't know where to pin it. So I said I'm going to be holding this mic today like this, so that the hair or anything will not get in the way of the recording. So yes, you're going to permit me today. What is knowing yourself? Knowing yourself means knowing what you stand for, what your values are, what your beliefs are, what you will not do, where you draw the line, principles that guide your everyday life, things that help you decide and make you make a choice, not getting influenced just because another person wants you to do stuff, and all those kind of things is what amounts to who you are and how you know yourself. And there are different ways that people can feel like they know themselves. There are different ways that you can get to know yourself and all that, and it is really good because there is no particular guideline for it, but there are steps, or how I put it, processes that could help you. I won't say guideline because it's not a straight line, but they can help you with it if you decide to follow it. And the bad thing about not knowing yourself is that it can cause a lot of bad things to happen to you. Yes, you heard me well. It can cause a lot of bad things to happen to you. Things that you not necessarily see as bad, but in the long run, it's not helping yourself. It's not helping your development. It's not helping your character. It's not helping your mentality. It's not even helping your overall well-being. So it's going to be detrimental in the long time. And another thing I see is a lot of people are not happy or are easily angry with who they are and what they are at that point in time, and it all results about not knowing yourself. And because you don't know yourself, you really don't know your purpose, you really don't understand why you're going through this particular thing at this point in time. So yes, one really bad thing that can happen when you don't know yourself is people pleasing. I've been there, done that. People pleasing is horrible. I am standing here, or rather I'm sitting down here to tell you that people pleasing is really horrible. It is where you are serving others with the interest or the purpose of getting validation from it, making it feel like, oh, this person sees my worth because of what I'm doing for the person, not just because of who you are alone. People should see your worth because of who you are, but not because of what you're doing. Yeah, I did that right here. Not because of what you're doing, but because of who you are. So people pleasing is a very easy loophole to fall into, because once you start it, you will receive immediate gratification, but it will not last long, because you start to feel horrible again when you're not in a place to do those kind of things for a certain person or group of people. You see yourself feeling bad, and their opinion towards you too will change, because why they were saying nice things to you was because you were helping them do stuff, or you were helping them through a particular thing. And when you cannot serve that purpose again, you're useless. Sorry to make that word or use that word, but that's what it is. They will make you feel that way. So it stems from not knowing yourself. So this is why this video is important for you. Watch it. The second thing that happens when you don't know yourself is depending on other people's opinions to validate yourself. That also comes from people pleasing in a way, because you want to feel important based off what somebody has said. You want somebody to tell you, oh, you're a good person every time. You want everybody to like you. You want to be accepted everywhere. It's impossible. You cannot be accepted everywhere. You're not water, you're not air, you're not food, so you cannot be accepted everywhere. Even some kind of food, it's not everybody that like eating it. So why do you feel you should be accepted? Why should you place your validation? Why should you place your value? Why should you place your importance on what somebody has said or what somebody's opinion is about you? And the thing about opinions is that they are just opinions. It really doesn't matter, except you want to make it matter. So, stop caring about what people say. Whether you're doing the good thing, you're doing the bad thing, you're doing anything at all, people are going to talk. This is very particular. Yeah, and I forgot I can on my ring light. Let me come back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm actually back. Another thing that can happen when you don't know yourself is joining bandwagon of trends. Yes, joining anybody, because these days it's pretty easy to want to be woke. It's easy to want to be fashionable mentally, physically, spiritually. There's like a lot of things going on, and everybody wants to be feeling in the trend. Everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants to manifest. Everybody wants to, do a lot of things. But when you see that it's not working for you, you're going to question why it's working for others, and from there you become depressed, you become anxious, you become angry, you become so nitpicky and all that. And that is because you don't know yourself. You don't know what's supposed to work for you and what is not. You don't even have grounded values on what you should do and what you shouldn't. So that is another thing that stems off from not knowing yourself. Another one is not having a voice. You see this thing about not having a voice or not wanting to air out your opinions because you're scared? It's going to make you to not matter at some point in time. And at the point in time where you don't matter, your head, your mind will argue with you, because it knows you're supposed to matter. It knows you're unique. It knows you're supposed to stand out. So it fights with you because you're not standing out. It fights with you because you're not doing the things you're supposed to do. You're not voicing out. You're not standing on your word. You're not saying the resolution that you made at the beginning of the year. You're not keeping by it. So your mind is going to argue with you. Yourself, you're going to be having this internal turmoil with yourself, just because of the fact that you don't have an opinion of your own, or you let people drag their opinion over you. Like, you just go with the flow to avoid conflict. Conflicts will happen to anybody, to anything at any point in time, but you have to know that it's not the end of the world, and this is just maybe an argument or a talk. It must not necessarily amount to anything, but your opinion has to be heard no matter what. If you have an opinion to it, your opinion might not be right or it might not be wrong, but it is what you have understood it to be. It is how you have perceived life in this angle to be. So say it. If you have something, say it. I might not agree with it, somebody else might agree with it. It doesn't matter, but just make sure you are not drowned over by words and thoughts and opinions of people, and forget that you have your own. Yeah, I've told you all the vices of not knowing yourself, and if you have looked at it, you should now understand why you have to know yourself. You have to understand that this video is very important to you, and knowing yourself will not just stop by watching this video. It's going to start and continue by consistent practice and efforts and determination and consistency to want to know yourself. I think I have repeated some words, but bear with me. That's how life is right now. The first step to knowing yourself is introspection. Introspection is really a key thing to knowing yourself, because if you don't introspect, if you don't evaluate yourself, you really don't know where you stand. You don't know where you're about to go. You don't know what is happening. You're just moving on the fast train, and you're going to crash at some point in time. Introspection is like an interview. You talk to yourself, you ask yourself, do I like this thing? Don't I like this thing? Is this working for me? Is this not working for me? Where do I draw the line? If people were not here, will I still think like this? Would I still do this particular thing? Will I still be this person's friend if nobody had to tell me to be her friend? Because some of us are friends with people just because somebody else has to be friends with that person, or somebody told you this person is a nice person, so you become that person's friend. It happens to everybody. You're not supposed to judge yourself. But introspection helps you understand, like, do our values align? What exactly is my value? What am I standing on? What are my principles? That's what introspection helps you to do. And if you don't introspect, you're not going to know yourself. It is the first and foremost thing, because while everything is happening around us very fast, while the world is happening so quick around us, we have to pause, take a break, because everybody feels like we are rushing somewhere, and really you don't know where you're running to if you have not asked yourself, where am I going to? You're just following everybody to run. So stop and think once in a while. Ask yourself, where am I heading? What am I going to? What are the principles for this lifing thing that I'm doing? How do I know myself? Why is my racetrack different from another person? All those things is really going to help you. Another thing to help you to know yourself is silencing out distraction. We are living in the social media era. We are living in the era that everything is fast. We are seeing 16-year-olds wanting to drive Lamborghini and fast cars and Lexus and Bravo cars and Ferrari. So everybody is in a hurry to get to where they are not. And if you ask me, those are distractions. Those are things that take us away from the goal, from the purpose of knowing ourselves. Because in order to understand why you don't have a particular thing at a point in time, in order to understand why this kind of thing is happening to you at this point in time, is knowing yourself, like I've said before. So silencing our distractions can be very hard, because distractions can be hidden. It might not necessarily come to you in form of a distraction. That is when you have to understand discernment, to understand, okay, is this really a distraction? Is this really necessary? Is this what I need at this particular point in time? And if no, that is a distraction. If yes, it might not be a distraction. It's quite tricky. But you have to know your triggers. You have to know what causes you to be distracted in the first place, and try to curb it. Yes, because it's not going to be immediately your distraction, you're going to curb it. Like in terms of social media, we come up online and we see a lot of people posting reels, living la vida loca, enjoying themselves, and you want to live that life, you want to be like that person. That is a distraction from your actual purpose, because you're seeing everybody, or you're seeing a lot of people doing a particular set of thing, and you want to do it too, and you already get distracted. You get off your own track because you want to live that person's life, and you don't know if that person is in the fourth race the person is, if that person has started it over and over and over again, like 100 times to get to where the person is. All you know is that you just want to be there, and that is a distraction. That is taking you off your own course. That is making you to come off the line that you are supposed to be towing, knowing yourself. So please silence out distractions, and you will see that by the time you silence out distractions and you start introspecting, you're going to come to understanding on a lot of things. You're going to see yourself in a different aspect, and you'll find out things that you feel that you have lost, because a lot of us, we've lost our inner childhood, and it's really necessary to find that in order to know the person that you actually are. Because our childhood personalities were the ones without fear, were the ones that were not anxious, were the ones that were always eager to know. They were not afraid of airing out our opinions, or fighting with somebody, or telling somebody, you're not my friend again. So you have to find that in order to know yourself, because that person was not scared of anything. This big person is. I kind of understand that song, Adulthood Na Scam. This outside the financial aspects and everything is a scam, because you get scared the more you grow up, not because of anything, but because you feel like the society will not accept you. So moving on, I know I digressed. Another thing to knowing yourself is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the hardest part of knowing yourself, because you have known your triggers, you have done an introspection, now you have to keep in line. You have to make boundaries. You have to curb things that you don't want. You have to practice things that you want in your life. All those things. And it's very easy to fall out. It's very easy to fall down on the way, if you allow me to use that English. Yes, because self-discipline does not come to us very easily. We are used to being free, yes, but knowing yourself also entails making a choice. And that choice is really scary, because self-discipline kind of drags us out of our comfort zone. It makes us uncomfortable in some ways, and when we are not in our comfort zone, we tend to be scared whether things will not work out the way it's supposed to work out. But at the end of the day, it actually does. So I feel self-discipline is one of the major things that happens when you know yourself, because it will help you to stop a lot of things. It will help you to make your boundaries. It will help you to resist. And self-discipline does not just come at once. It comes gradually. It comes with consistency. It comes with determination. You have to be determined that when you fall, you're going to get back up and practice and go again till you get to where you are. So yeah, discipline. It's really important. Another thing is being willing to learn. Yeah. When you silence out your distractions and you have done introspections and all that, you don't have to learn yourself, because it's when you learn that you understand your triggers. Because if you don't learn yourself, you cannot really know. You won't know your triggers. You won't know what triggers you to get angry. You won't know what triggers you to be happy. You will not even know what you want to do in the first place and how you want to go about it, because you have not learned yourself. And a lot of times I see people saying that you will go with the vibe. A lot of vibe going can lead us the wrong way if we want to be truthful, but nobody is going to tell you that. But I will tell you that a lot of going with the vibe, going with the flow, will lead you to where you're not supposed to flow into. So please learn yourself. It's not every time you have to go with the flow. Sometimes you have to understand that there's a break here, that I don't want to do this, I don't want to go here. And that happens when you learn yourself. You will always go with the flow if you don't learn yourself. So learn about yourself. I think that's quite self-explanatory. I wrote a whole journal on this because there's a lot of information I want to pass to you people. People should tell me thank you. Another thing is talking to God. He's the creator of the universe and you're not talking to him. Somebody that is always wanting to talk to you and you're not talking to him. Why now? Why will you make him feel so insignificant when he's the one that made you? You see, a lot of people run off course and want to run another person's race, or want to live another person's life, or want to be like another person because they don't know who they are. And who is the best person to ask who you are? It's your God. It's the person that made you. That's the person you're supposed to ask. It's the one with the user manual that will tell you, okay, this is where you're supposed to go. This is how you're supposed to do about it. This is what's supposed to happen at this point in time. That's how you get to know yourself. That's how you understand yourself. That's how you will not feel disturbed, angry, or depressed when you see another person's success. It is hard as a human being, as I said again, but you will learn to understand a lot of things and you will not be pressured into a lot of things. And the last one is be patient and loving to yourself. You cannot be wanting to know yourself with force. Nothing good comes out of using force, honestly. It's like, take for example, you're trying to train your child, if you have a child, or you're trying to train a dog. We're in our teenage age, we don't have children, we have dogs. And when the dog does something wrong, you hit the dog. The dog the only thing that you will do to that dog is to instill fear, not discipline. You instill fear and the dog is afraid. But the thing about it is that the dog does not know what he did wrong. So it applies to us too. If you want to know yourself using force, if you want to force yourself, if you talk down on yourself just to get driven, you will crash at some point. You will be anxious, you will feel depressed, you will feel down, you will feel angry, and that's because you are using force. In everything, learn to love yourself, learn to speak good things to yourself, learn to approach yourself from a place of love, because a lot of us don't do that. A lot of us speak bad things about ourselves. I used to be there. I used to trash talk myself, but I have learned that it didn't help me. At the end of the day, I kept on feeling bad, and I kept on going down and down till I understood that it's not working. I have to try something else. I have used force on myself, and force is not helping me achieve what I wanted to achieve. So I decided to achieve it with love. Yeah, that's what happens when you know yourself. And knowing yourself is an everyday, I think I've said this before, an everyday process, a step-by-step process. Rome was not built in a day, and you won't know yourself in a day either. So take it easy with yourself. Learn, understand, pace. Go at your own pace. Don't let anybody want to rush you or fast track you into another pace when you're not ready to be there yet. So those are the steps to knowing yourself and understanding yourself, or reintroducing yourself to yourself if you're lost. I don't know if I've not mentioned any other thing, but I think those are the key things that helped me to know myself, that helped me to snap out of a lot of things, and helped me to grow basically. So I came to share them with you. And if you have tips on what you did to know yourself and how you got to know yourself, or if you're lost, how you found yourself and all that, please go down to my comment section and help us talk to everybody. I'll be there to respond. Yeah, that's basically it. That's what I came to tell you guys. I really hope you love this topic and you got something out of it. Leave a comment, as I've said before, like and share this to somebody who you feel might need it. Bye guys.